Welcome to my channel, your soft and simple place to learn, repeat, and speak real English. Let me ask you, have you ever said something in English, but the person didn't understand you? You knew the words, but maybe your voice was too quiet, too fast, or not clear, and in that moment, you felt small. I understand that feeling. I've been there. Today, I will guide you step by step to speak English clearly, so people understand you, so you feel proud, and so your voice feels strong. Stay with me, because even one small change in the way you speak can make a big difference in how people hear you. Chapter 1: The Day I Realized. Clear English Matters. It was a normal afternoon. I was hungry, so I went to a small restaurant near my workplace. The place was busy. People were talking, dishes were clinking, and music was playing softly in the background. I had been practicing my English for months, and I felt excited to order something by myself. I looked at the menu and decided I wanted fried rice. Simple, right? I walked to the counter, smiled at the cashier, and said, "Fried rice, please." At least, I thought that's what I said. The cashier leaned forward. "Sorry, what?" she asked. My heart jumped. I repeated it again. "Fried rice, please." She frowned slightly. "Sorry, could you say that again?" I felt my face get warm. People were waiting in line behind me. I tried one more time, slower. "Fried rice." She nodded quickly. "Oh, French fries," and typed it in. I didn't want to correct her anymore. I just smiled and said, "Yes." When my food came, it was not fried rice. It was a plate of French fries. I laughed a little to myself, but inside, I felt disappointed. I had said the words I knew. I had used English. But still, I wasn't understood. I took a bite of the fries and thought, why did that happen? Later that day, I sat at the back of the restaurant with my coffee, watching people order. One man stepped up to the counter. He spoke slowly, with a calm, clear voice. "I would like a chicken sandwich, please." His words were simple. His voice was steady. Even with the noise around, I heard every word, and so did the cashier. She smiled and repeated, "Chicken sandwich." Got it. That moment was like a light turning on in my mind. I realized something important that day. English is not just about knowing words. It's about how you say them. You can have all the vocabulary in the world, but if the person can't hear you clearly, the words don't reach them. It's like sending a letter but forgetting to write the address. It never gets where it needs to go. I thought about my own speaking. I often spoke quickly, trying to get the words out fast before I lost courage. But fast is not always clear. And clear is what people need to understand you. That day, I made a decision. I would stop trying to speak like I was in a race. I would start speaking like I wanted to be understood. Slow, clear, confident. And that was the first step in my journey to speaking better English. Not speed, not big words, but clarity. From that day on, every time I spoke English, I remembered that man's voice at the counter. Calm, steady, clear. And I told myself, if people can understand you, you have already succeeded. Next, I had to learn how to slow my speech and make it smooth, because slow is not boring. Slow is smooth, and smooth is clear. And that's where my journey took me next. Chapter 2. Slow is smooth, smooth is clear. A few days after the fried rice moment, I decided to test something. I was going to speak slowly, much slower than I normally did. Honestly, I was nervous. In my head, I thought, if I speak slowly, maybe people will think I'm not smart. Maybe they'll get bored. But then I remembered fast didn't work for me last time. So why not try? That morning, I went to a small bakery near my bus stop. The place was quiet, only 2 customers ahead of me. I looked at the menu and chose something easy, a cup of tea and a sandwich. I planned my sentence in my head. I would like a cup of tea and a cheese sandwich, please. But this time, I broke it into small pieces in my mind, like steps on a staircase. When it was my turn, I took a breath and said slowly, I would like a cup of tea and a cheese sandwich, please. Each part had its own small pause. I didn't rush. I opened my mouth for every word. I watched the cashier's face. She smiled, nodded, and repeated, 1 cup of tea and 1 cheese sandwich. That will be $5. Inside, I was surprised. She understood me the first time. No, sorry, no repeating, just a clear, smooth exchange. I felt a small burst of joy, like I had just unlocked a secret. As I waited for my food, I thought about why it worked. Breaking the sentence into short parts made it easier for the listener to catch every word. Speaking slowly gave me time to pronounce things better, and the small pauses gave her time to process what I said. It wasn't boring, it was clear. I started testing this method in other places. At the cafe where I worked, when greeting customers, at the bus stop, when asking for directions, even at home when speaking with my sister in English. Every time I slowed down, people understood me faster. Here's what I learned. If your words are like water, rushing too fast makes them spill everywhere. But if you pour slowly, the cup fills without mess. Your listener is the cup. Your words need to pour in clearly. So here's a little practice you can try. Take any sentence you know, like, I live in a small town with my family. Break it into parts. I live in a small town with my family. Say it slowly. Feel your mouth move. Listen to your voice. Imagine the other person catching every single word. After just a week of practicing this, something amazing happened. At work, a tourist came in. I took their order slowly and clearly. They smiled and said, "Wow, you speak very clearly." That was the first time someone had ever said that to me, and I'll never forget how it felt. Like all my effort was real, and it was working. From that moment, I knew speaking clearly doesn't start with perfect grammar or long words. It starts with slowing down. When you slow down, you give yourself time to think, your mouth time to move, and your listener time to understand. But slowing down was just the first step. Once I learned how to pace my speech, I realized there was another problem. My sounds still weren't sharp enough. Some words blurred together, and my pronunciation wasn't always right. If I wanted to be truly clear, I had to train my mouth to make each sound strong and clean. Chapter 3. Training your mouth to speak clearly. One afternoon, while I was cleaning tables at the cafe, my manager called me over. She said, "Ronnie, when you say coffee, it sometimes sounds like copy." I blinked. I thought I was saying it right, but when I repeated it slowly, coffee, I realized my lips hardly moved. The sound was small and unclear. That's when I discovered something I had never really thought about before. The way you move your mouth changes the way the words sound. That night, I stood in front of my small mirror at home. I tried saying coffee again. This time, I opened my mouth more, shaped my lips fully for the aw sound, and let the E stretch at the end. I could see my lips move differently, and the word sounded sharper, cleaner. I tried again, this time saying, "Good morning." I made sure the G at the start was clear. My lips came together for the M in morning, and my tongue touched my teeth for the N at the end. It felt strange at first, almost like acting. But after a few minutes, I realized my voice sounded stronger. My words were easier to understand, even to me. I laughed a little, surprised that something so small, just moving my mouth more, made such a big difference. I started practicing with a little routine. I would stand in front of the mirror and say 5 short phrases, watching my lips, my tongue, and my jaw. "Good morning. How are you?" "I'm fine, thank you." "What's your name?" "See you later." I wasn't just saying them, I was shaping them. Every sound had its place. A few days later, I decided to try something my teacher once told me about: shadowing. I found a short English video of a friendly speaker talking about their morning routine. I played one sentence at a time, listened carefully, and then repeated exactly what they said, matching their mouth movement, tone, and clarity. I wasn't focused on speed, I was focused on making each sound clear and full. The first few tries felt awkward. I would play a sentence, pause, repeat, and sometimes mess it up. But after 5 or 6 rounds, something amazing happened. I started sounding more like the speaker. My pronunciation was cleaner. My words connected better. My voice had more confidence in it. I began doing this shadowing exercise for just 5 minutes every day. I'd pick sentences like, "It's a beautiful day," or "Could you help me, please?" and copy them exactly. Mouth shapes, pauses, everything. It was like learning to play a song by listening and copying each note. Within 2 weeks, people at work started noticing. One customer said, "You say thank you so clearly, it's nice to hear." That small comment gave me such a warm feeling. I knew the mirror practice and shadowing were paying off. But even with clear sounds, I noticed something else when I listened to native speakers. They didn't just pronounce words clearly. Their sentences had a certain flow, a rhythm that made them easy to follow. It wasn't only about the sounds, it was also about the music in their speech. Chapter 4. Finding the music in your sentences. One evening, after a long day at work, I sat on my bed with a cup of tea and turned on an English TV show. It was a simple, everyday conversation between two friends talking about their weekend. But something caught my ear. It wasn't just what they were saying. It was how they were saying it. Their words rose and fell like waves. Some words were strong and loud, others softer and quicker. It wasn't flat. It was like music. I leaned closer, listening carefully. When one character said, "I went to the park on Saturday," I noticed they stressed "went" and Saturday, but "to thee" and "on" were softer, almost hidden. It was the first time I truly realized that English has rhythm, just like a song, and that rhythm makes it easier to understand. I paused the video and tried to copy it. I went to the park on Saturday. At first, I said every word with the same strength, and it sounded boring. But when I put the stress on the important words, "went Saturday," my voice suddenly sounded more natural, more alive. It was like my English had been in black and white, and now it had color. I decided to practice this music every day. I picked a short sentence. "She's going to the market." I said it flat. "She's going to the market." Then I said it with stress. "She's going to the market." Immediately, it felt smoother and more interesting. Here's a little tip you can try. Take any sentence and underline or mark the most important words, the ones that carry the meaning. Those are the ones you stress. The small words like to, the, in, at usually stay softer. Example: I need a new phone. Stress need and phone. The more I practiced, the more fun it became. I started doing it with everything: reading menus, reading street signs, even short text messages. I would imagine I was in a show, giving life to the words. Then one day, while talking to a customer at the cafe, I noticed something. I was explaining, "We don't have chocolate cake today, but we do have apple pie." And the customer nodded instantly. No confusion at all. My sentences weren't just clear. They had a natural rhythm that made them easy to follow. That was the moment I thought, this is it. My English is not just correct. It's alive. It felt good. It felt like real communication, not just speaking from a textbook. But music alone isn't enough. Clear sounds and nice rhythm are important, but the real test is using them when it matters, in everyday real-life situations. That's where my next challenge began. Chapter 5: Real-Life Practice That Builds Clarity. One cloudy morning, I was standing at the bus stop, holding my bag and looking at my phone. A man next to me glanced up and said, "Cold today, isn't it?" I froze for a second. Small talk in English. My heart wanted to race ahead, but I remembered my new habits. Slow, clear, short sentences. I smiled and said, "Yes, it is cold." Then I added, "It might rain later." I paused, making sure my words were clear. He nodded and replied, "Yeah, I heard that too." I thought for a second, then said, "I hope the bus comes soon." 3 short sentences, each one complete, each one easy to understand. He smiled, and just like that, the conversation felt natural. No "sorry, what?" No awkward silences. Just smooth, clear talking. As the bus pulled up, I felt something warm inside. not from the weather, but from the fact that I had just spoken to a stranger in English, and every word landed perfectly. That's when I realized something important. You don't need a long conversation to improve your English. Even a few short sentences, if they're clear, can build your confidence and make a big difference. Here's what I call the 3 clear sentences rule. When you speak to someone in English, aim for 3 short, complete sentences. 1. Start with an answer. 2. Add 1 detail. 3. Finish with a closing comment or question. Example: do you like this weather? Yes, it's nice. The sun feels warm. I hope it stays like this. It's simple, but it works. It gives you a clear structure and helps you stay calm while speaking. To practice this, I started a 3-minute speaking habit every day. I would pick one small topic, like my breakfast, my favorite place, or my weekend, and talk about it out loud for 3 minutes. I focused on speaking slowly, making clear mouth shapes, and adding a little rhythm. Sometimes I talked to my sister, sometimes to the mirror, and sometimes just to my phone recorder. Over time, these short daily practices made a huge difference. My words became cleaner. My pauses became natural. I didn't have to think so hard before speaking because I had already trained my voice every day. And here's the magic part. The more clearly I spoke, the more confident I felt. And the more confident I felt, the more I wanted to speak. It was like a circle. Clarity grew my confidence, and confidence made my clarity even stronger. But there was one final step in my journey. I had learned to slow down, to make my sounds clear, to add rhythm, and to practice in real life. Now it was time to understand the truth. Your clear voice is more than just English. It's your power. Chapter 6. Your clear voice is your power. It happened on a sunny afternoon. I was walking home when I saw a tourist standing near the corner, holding a map and looking a little lost. He noticed me and asked, "Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the museum?" In the past, my heart would have raced, my words would have rushed, and I might have mumbled something too quickly, but not this time. I smiled, took a small breath, and said, "Yes, of course. Go straight. Turn left at the second traffic light. The museum is next to the park." I spoke slowly, clearly, and with steady pauses. He nodded while I spoke, showing he understood every word. Then he smiled and said, "You speak clearly. Thank you." Those 4 words, "you speak clearly," hit me deeply. They weren't just about my English. They were about my effort, my practice, my growth. At that moment, I didn't just feel like someone who could speak English. I felt like someone who could connect with anyone, anywhere. As I walked away, I thought about how different I felt compared to my first fried rice mistake. Back then, I had words but no clarity. Now, I had clarity, and it gave me something much bigger: respect, connection, and confidence. I realized that speaking clearly changes how people see you. When you speak clearly, people listen. They don't have to guess what you mean. They trust your words, and they respect you for making it easy to understand. I also remembered the very first time I felt proud of my English voice. It was at the bus stop when I spoke 3 short, clear sentences to a stranger, and they understood me without asking me to repeat. That small win gave me the courage to keep going. And now, here I was, helping someone find a museum, speaking with confidence, and hearing a real compliment in return. Here's the truth. Clear speaking is not about using big, difficult words. It's not about perfect grammar. It's about being understood. It's about sending your message to the other person without it getting lost on the way. Every time you speak clearly, you're building a stronger version of yourself. You're proving to yourself that your voice matters, that it's worth hearing. So my message to you is this. Every hello, every small talk, every short sentence you speak with clarity is a step toward the confident English speaker you want to be. Don't wait for perfect. Don't hide behind fear. Speak slowly. Open your mouth. Shape your words. Let your voice carry your message clearly, because your clear voice is more than just English. Your clear voice is your power. If this video helped you take even one small step towards speaking English clearly, then do 3 things. Like this video, comment below, tell me your favorite clear sentence in English, subscribe to the channel for more soft, slow, real English lessons. And remember, clarity is your power. Use it. Every sentence you speak is your chance to be heard, understood, and remembered. So speak slowly, speak clearly, and speak today.